Eagles fans, welcome back to another episode of Eagle Watch, where we discuss all things UWL football, brought to you by our friends at Pizza Ranch. The Eagles hit the road this weekend and faced off against a tough UW-Platteville team, and for the first time this season, UWL came up short. The Eagles fall to 4-1 after a 38-21 loss, but there's still plenty of football left to be played as they get ready to host UW-Oshkosh this weekend at home. Coach Matt Janis is here once again to break down what went wrong, but also what went right and how this team is looking to bounce back before heading into a crucial stretch of the WIAC season. So Coach, first off, not the result we wanted here, but there's a lot of takeaways in a game like this. So what was your biggest reflection after the Platteville game?
Yeah, no, I think, first and foremost, all the credit really goes to UW-Platteville, to their coaching staff, and to their players. I thought they had they came out of the gates. I thought they had a phenomenal game plan for us, and their players executed. And so the credit, that goes to that team, really, first and foremost. And the second part of that is the rest of that's on me as the head coach, and that's where I really take the blame. And I apologize to our team, and I apologize to our fans. I didn't have that group ready to go for whatever reason. I think there's a lot. I think you do a lot of kind of self-reflection throughout the whole week. Obviously, the travel the day of, some of that stuff. Ultimately it's my job as the head coach to make sure our team is prepared, to make sure our team is focused throughout the week, and make sure that we're ready to go. And that's ultimately, like I said, it's on me. Didn't do the right things throughout the week, and so we go through self-reflection and some of the things that we got to change within our practice plan. And like I said, it's ultimately we didn't play our best game, and that's at times, and because we talked as a team, that's the beauty of our league too sometimes. And I know it sucks. You have adversity, you face that, and of course we want to go perfect, and of course we don't want to lose. But I think the beauty of our league at times is that it does humble you, and it does teach you those lessons. I said at the beginning of the year, and I didn't say it to our team, but I thought it was going to be really, really hard for a team in our conference to go undefeated and run the table like that. Our conference is too hard. It's too hard. It's too good with everything. And so I think we're going to learn a lot of lessons. I know I have from that loss, and an ability to correct and move forward. And that's also within our league, right? You have to play your best game. You have to coach your best game every single week. Other leagues don't have that. North Central and Bethel and St. John's, those are great teams, but they're done now. They're ready. They can just get ready. We have another stretch here of 3 more games where we have to play our best football, and that's hard. That's hard to be on all the time. It's hard to coach a perfect game, to play a perfect game. That is tough. And so I think we just are going to take a step back this week and really focus on the way we practice, and maybe I let some, not purposely, and not the players were they weren't trying to do it, maybe just some bad practice habits at times. And so we're going to kind of go back to correct that. And this group, as I've said all year, Lucas, they have phenomenal leadership, and our captains and our seniors, they're going to get this group back on track here and ready to go. We had a good morning practice yesterday, good meetings last night, good weight session, and now we jump into Tuesday, a heavy day in practice, and I'm looking forward to coaching our team again.
Yeah, definitely. We talked about last week how the WIAC is a true gauntlet here. So tell me about the atmosphere at UW-Platteville. Was it just insane?
Yeah, no, I thought our kids, there was some heat. I always try to help them with the weather, and so we're worried about the wind, and then you get kind of the warm-ups, and it's why is it so hot? And so trying to get them to hydrate and all that stuff. I think part of it is traveling the day of. That's hard when you're a football player, to get on a bus, to travel, and I know that's just part of our conference, and other teams are doing that, and then to play on the road and play away from home that's always tough in any sport that you do. So I think that that was some of the factors. Like I said, more from my perspective of, could we have traveled better? Could we have stopped here? Should we have stretched out more after breakfast? Just some of those things that you look at as well as a coach.
Yeah. We won't stay too long on this, but even in a loss, there are still some bright spots in a game like this. So Haas threw for nearly 300 yards, and Janke had another big day with 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. What stood out about their play or just the offense in general? Because we had some really bright things.
Yeah, no doubt, and not all of it was bad.
Right.
Like there was some tough moments, there's some bad play calls or whatever it was, and just things we didn't execute. But there was, without a doubt, some bright spots. I think Jack Jenke continues to prove himself as he's one of the best receivers in the league, and he has the ability to create explosives, whether it's going over the top or whether it's breaking a tackle and taking off from there. And Kyle continues to have such great command of our offense and does some really, really phenomenal things. And whether it's going in rhythm on plays and throwing like right off the rhythm, or whether it's, hey, stuff broke down, I got to scrape, I got to use the pocket, I got to move the pocket a little bit, I got to make plays on my own, I got to make plays whether downfield or tucking the ball and going. I think there's some really, continues to be some really good things. I think we saw some good things with, some injuries and with our younger backs, and Owen Lightel had a really couple good runs here, and we're going to continue to lean on Owen here as we go through the next couple of weeks here. So I thought there was some good bright spots, especially within the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, definitely. And one more thing before we head on to the next matchup here, I want to talk about on the other side of the ball defensively. Mm-hmm. Guys like Tyler Berkeley led the charge with 7 tackles. Yeah. What stood out most defensively?
Yeah, no, I just think, like I said, I think their offensive game plan was really good for us. I think we just missed some fits, and that's the hard part. And you got to be like so good with those. And I think we were just a hair maybe too wide with our linebackers, or too tight, or we missed this. And when you do that, good team, when that happens, like good teams take advantage of you in the run game. Really pleased with, like I said, Tyler stepped in, obviously with Aaron being out, and Tyler steps in as backup and continues to show that he can play at this level. I thought our defensive line continued to stay with it, as frustrated as they were. I thought that team did a good job within their scheme of really taking that centerpiece of our defensive line out of it, with Bodie and Henry, for instance. And so we got to do a better job of moving those guys around so that teams can't do that in the future here. But I think there was some really good. I thought we had a huge turnover at the end on the interception. I thought Grant Archcliffe on a 4th down made a really big stop on a speed option. Like, there was really some bright spots across the board. It just collectively just didn't all come together on Saturday, and it did for them, and they played well, and that's unfortunately what happens in this league, and it's tough. It's tough to swallow, but this group will get back up, and we're back at it today, and back at it focusing on Oshkosh, and I think that was the case on Monday morning. Hey, it's done, it's over.
Right.
Here's our lessons. Let's move on, and let's focus on UW-Oshkosh now.
Yeah, and we're going to get right into UW-Oshkosh right after we hear a word from our sponsor, Pizza Ranch.
Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way. Dive into our buffet featuring a variety of legendary pizzas, crispy fried chicken, and classic American sides. And don't miss out on the excitement of our Fun Zone arcade. Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
All right, Coach, you got UW-Oshkosh next. Yeah. Another ranked opponent. What's the mindset here? It's a gauntlet here. We talk about this every week.
No, our mindset? No, it's again another ranked opponent in our league. Another good team. I think it starts. Obviously they're playing really well on defense. I think one of their defensive linemen is 53. He's playing at a not really an all-conference level. I think he's really playing at an all-American level, along with number 8 on their defense. And then they possess some different looks, kind of very not similar to Platteville, but similar in the way that they're going to present some different looks on the back end of things, and they're going to get us into some non-traditional stuff that you don't see. So I think for our offense, it's just seeing it this week, and it's about Kyle getting comfortable with what he's seeing, and okay, this is their Tampa, this is their quarters, and just trying to get our offense comfortable with that. But I think offensively, it's about us continuing to try to create explosives, but also, hey, being patient within the scheme and kind of picking and prodding and choosing our moments with all that. And then, you look at their offense. I think their head coach, Coach Jennings, is probably one of the best that I've seen in terms of being able to utilize the personnel that he has. I think he's got some phenomenal pieces on offense, and he is so good at moving those pieces around. And we're going to see something on Saturday that we've never seen before on film as a defense, or we're going to see somebody in the backfield that we've never seen. Or he just does such a good job of moving those skilled pieces around to involve them in the game. I think this whole entire offense starts with the 2 tight ends. They have 2 butt-kicking tight ends. They are huge dudes. They're fast dudes. And I think whether it's the run game or even the pass game, those two need to be accounted for at all times. And you traditionally don't usually say that when you go up against an opposing offense. You don't really talk about their tight ends all that much as being such a huge piece of that. I think they brought in, I think they got him like in week 3, they got a transfer running back, and he's been a difference maker in that offense. His ability to run their outside zone, break tackles, cut back, his vision with everything, his strength running the ball. And then they got some over-the-top receivers. I mean, we've seen number 0 now, I think, for 3 straight years. I think we've seen 0. 88, we feel like I've played against him for forever. And he's got that top-end speed where they're just going to say, hey, he's going to run a post, and they're going to let it rip. And so it's a lot of different. You're going to see kind of an aerial attack to a run-the-ground attack. You're going to get a little bit of a both. So really good offense, really good defense. And, again, it's a reason why they're a ranked team, right? Like, and that's why we got another ranked opponent and another challenging matchup where the momentum's going to go back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, it should be a really exciting matchup. And now you get to take the travel aspect out of it. You're back at home.
It'd be nice to be home.
It's a 2 p.m. game. How does that affect, I don't know, I feel like staying home, staying put, getting the home crowd going.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the home crowd's everything, right? Yeah. And I think we're going to have another big crowd on hand. I mean, we got our 1985 championship team reunion and our 1995 national championship team reunion. So, like, those guys are all going to be back. They have a huge thing going on. I think, they're starting Friday night, then they got tailgating, then they get announced at the game, and then they're going, we're having something after the game. So there's a lot of our history at lacrosse is back, and I think that's really exciting for our guys and for us as coaches to have that critical piece of our history back on campus, back cheering you on, along with obviously all of our fans.
Yeah, definitely. You kind of went into my next question, having these alumni back. Are you having any old players come in and kind of talk to the team at all?
Yeah, we have that from time to time. I mean, we had John Schumann was at practice. He didn't talk to the team, but John Schumann kind of came in and quarterback here, and he talked to the team. I mean, as much as we can bring our alumni back, we try to get them. And I think that's cool for really like a two-way street, right? Like, it's awesome for our players, like I said, with such a rich history and such a tradition that I talk about all the time with them. Like, it's so nice for them to then see it, right? And to be like, oh, that's who helped us win this or this, and all that. And then I think it's awesome for our alumni on the other end of things, like when they can come talk to the team or they can come watch us practice, they can come see us play, like that builds that connection and that they're still involved with our program in one way, shape, form, or the other.
I love that. Well, Coach Janis, as always, thank you for your time. Thank you for your insight. The Eagles will look to bounce back this weekend at home against UW-Oshkosh. Kickoff is set for 2 p.m., a little bit later in the afternoon, and just bring your energy. Anything you want to say to the fans.
No, bring it all. Let's go. Let's go. We had 5,400 at our last game. Let's break that one here, and let's get more in the stands and make this as hostile as we can.
I love it. Coach Janis, as always, go Eagles.
Go Eagles.